her intellect becomes higher and higher, and as he goes on passing all the standards, at first from the cat to he can say a cat, a man, a rat, and later he can see a cat is sleeping, a rat is running, and so on. So Sarah wants to say is that to develop, supposing we are in the fourth standard or third standard, you can see that a cat is sleeping, a rat is running, a man is sitting, and so on. At that stage, in that standard child, he doesn't need to go on learning all these alphabet as A and B and C. But as he has been learning from the basic A, B, C, to attain the third standard, only then, with such a lot of experience and with learning, only he has attained to that standard, so that he can read a sentence like a cat is sleeping, a man is sitting. So, similarly as for the yogis, to develop all these Vipassana wisdom, so we have to learn from the very basic. So Sarah says, as for the beginners, they have to learn on supposing a walking meditation, a right foot and left foot. So only on that account, as the yogis go on practicing with good concentration, as concentration becomes more firmer or more strengthened, then the yogi is easier to note, lifting of foot, pushing forward and then dropping. And then later, as it goes on noting, it becomes almost habitual, and he can note all the things within a minute or a second than previously when he was a beginner. So only when the time is reached for the time to ripen, then he will develop on this Vipassana wisdom, either this is mine or this is better. And as it goes on, as he goes on practicing, then only he will realize later that this is the cause and this is the effect. Then only when he reach the higher stage of Vipassana wisdom, or when he reach to the third stage of Vipassana wisdom, he will see this anicca, dukkha and anatta. So Sarah said, on all these basic mind and matter, your concept and your absolute knowledge of seeing all these from your viewpoint all becomes as your mind has culture and developed to the higher stage, and your absolute knowledge will become changing to the higher stage. So after all, whatever we are noting, to develop all these higher stages up to the 16 stages, our basic duty is just to note on mind and matter. Sarah says the fourth stage of wisdom in Vipassana is Udaya Vayasiyana. We call that Udaya means formation or arising. And then Vaya means destroying or disappears. So at this stage, the yogi will able to see the formation and then the disappearing. So some would like to say that they know this formation and passing away or the disappearance, but without the experience, without the absolute knowledge, if they say just by listening to the Dhamma talk, or if they hear from some learned person, then these are not the genuine fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom. Now, as Yara says, as there are very few days for him to be in Penang, he is leaving on Saturday, so he wants to remind to all the yogis to meditate in proper way. Because even in Burma, as there are so many Vipassana meditation centers, and some, although they are teaching Vipassana meditation and instructing them, some are not in a systematic way. So Seattle says to reach, just like in mathematics, if you are solving a problem, if you want to get a right answer, then you must solve it in a right methodical way. Only then you will get the right answer. Otherwise, you can't get the right answer. So in this case, some centers, they used to preach to the Vipassana meditators that they must see the formation and passing away. So Sierra says, how can a child, if he or she doesn't even know ABCD, and put them in the fourth standard and let them read fourth standard English textbook, how can he read that textbook? Because he doesn't know the basic alphabets. So similarly, as for the beginners, for the Vipassana meditators, even they doesn't know how to note, how to practice in proper way. So how can they attain this full stage of Vipassana wisdom? So at that stage, some even they don't know how to note, or maybe their noting way maybe need some instruction at that moment, or they don't even get near to the Nama Rupa Presida Jnana or first stage of wisdom. So how can they attain that fourth stage of wisdom, or how can they see the formation and passing away? And in some centers also, they are saying that in practicing Vipassana, they must be able to detach deity. Deity means our false belief in ourselves. So even that for the beginners, for all the yogis as in the stage of beginners, they doesn't even know what's the meaning of deity. And they doesn't even know how to meditate properly. So how can they be able to detach this deity? So Sarah says these methods of instructing to the yogis are not in accordance with the literature. So Sarah wants to remind all the yogi again that to reach to the, as you solve in the mathematics, to reach to the right answer, just in here, as for Vipassana meditation, to attain all these Vipassana wisdom, your way of practice must be systematic or methodical. So in other words, if you are, as if you are solving a problem in maths, sometimes the questions may be wrong. Or if the question is not wrong, and then your way of solving that problem may be wrong. So there can be two tendency of error. So that however you may be solving that problem, you will never reach to the right answer. So similarly, in practice of Vipassana, Sarah wants all the yogis to meditate properly, so that only when they are at the right track, they will have the right view, then they will reach to the Vipassana wisdom. Otherwise, they won't. Stage of Vipassana wisdom. As in every stage of wisdom, there are stages of when they are at the beginner stage, and only as they goes on noting, they become mature. So similarly, in the fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom also, only when that yogi attains the Vipassana wisdom, at first, or when that stage of mind is in a tender way, then at first there are 10 points he will face, he or she will face. Number 1 point is he or she will see and so many bright lights. And number 2 is his or her intellectual become very sharp. At that time, the noting mind is very good. And then number 3 is piti. And number 4 is patati or peaceful, that is nature who is peaceful. And number 5 is sukha. Number 6 is Sata, or you feel very eager, he wants to go on meditating or volition. And number 7 is Oriya, or effort. He just wanted to go on noting. And number 8 is mindfulness. He is all the time mindfulness. He has all the sati all the time. And number 9 is just a feeling of indifference or ubhikha. And number 10 is Vikanji, or not exactly last. He has the attachment on all these feelings. And that is Namigaga in Asaro's story. So altogether 10 points. In this case, as Yara says just now, the yogis have attachment on this feeling and his experiences in this Vipassana meditation. So in this 4th stage, the yogi will see very bright light, as some light. They were sitting in front of the such lights, or the very bright lights from the cars, or from any other things. Sometimes they just feel like as if, although they are meditating in the dark room, they feel like they are sitting under the full moon shining. So Sarah says, to see these lights in each and every stages of Vipassana wisdom, yogi will have the experience of seeing these bright lights. At number 1 stage of Namarupa Presida, you will also see the bright lights. At number 2 and 3 also, you will also see the bright lights. But only at the 4th stage, the lights, the seeing, the visions of all these bright lights are very much brighter than the previous ones. So, and in this stage also, they will also see sometimes Buddha Rupa, sometimes Arahant, and sometimes so many Samuti Sangha. Because Samuti Sangha, so many Sangha will be seen in the yogi's vision. So Sarah says while he was checking on the yogis in Burma, there was a Lady Dayaka, as she has been having that stage. She said that Buddha Rupa was sitting on her head. So she feel so pleasant that she didn't note. She just see on that vision. So when she comes for a report, as the Kamathana Sariya, Sayadaw has advised her to go on, carry on noting. So just to proceed with further development of Vipassana wisdom. But as she was so attached to all these visions that she never reached to the higher level of Vipassana wisdom. Because most of the yogis at that stage, they used to go while around only at the 4th stage of this Vipassana wisdom. So that's why Sayadaw says all the Kamathana Sariya, all the instructor, they instruct them to note. Otherwise, just like a person who is traveling under the sun to reach a destiny. Or supposing you are traveling in a desert, to reach your destiny, if you find an oasis, and then you just rest there. And if you think that oasis is very peaceful and you want to stay in that place, how can you reach your destiny? So similarly, Sarah says, to reach to or to develop further higher level of Vipassana wisdom, if you are just if you feel just attachment to this stage of wisdom, and if you are just falling around in that wisdom only, then you won't reach to the higher level. So similarly, Sayadaw has experience with another man yogi. He has experience of seeing very bright lights on candles. At first, he saw only a few, And later it becomes much more and it multiplies. So he saw so many candles, more than thousands. So in this case, as day after day he has been reporting this experience, so Sarah advised him to note. But because they become so attached to these experiences, they doesn't want to note. So, which means Sarah concerning with Vipassana wisdom, in this Pali, Upana Kilesa. Upa Kilesa means you have attachment on these experiences. So, as Sarah couldn't guide him directly, he has to realize the true fact, he has to ask him indirectly. So if you see such a lot of candles, can you offer me some? So actually he could. To realize the truth, Sayadaw has to ask him indirectly. So if you, as you have so many candles, why can't you offer me some candles? So actually he couldn't do that because these are all afterwards, these are all just visions. So he has been so much attached to the visions, only then he realized the true fact. So similarly, Sarah wants to remind to the yogi again that in morning, that is the capital city of Lower Burma, when they were setting up for some meditation center, there was a lady yogi, and she was when at home she was meditating in the mosquito net, which was placed in front of the Buddha's altar. And at the same time, in front of the Buddha statue, she has offered a candlelight. So, although she was in the mosquito net and sitting and she was meditating, so as she goes on meditating in her vision, her eyes were closed and she saw the bright lights. So as she goes on noting, seeing the bright lights, seeing. As it goes on noting, she saw these bright lights become bigger and more brighter, more luminous. But as it goes on noting, it becomes so bright, and later she felt the heat. So she noted on all these heat. But as it becomes so hot that she couldn't note anymore, so she just opened her eyes, and only then she realized that the candle was falling down and burning the altar as well as some parts of a mosquito net. So Sarah wants to remind to the yogi, don't have that kind of experience. If you want to meditate in the room and in the mosquito net, and don't put on these candle lights. About all these feelings, because after all, although these are the pleasant feelings for the yogi, but they are also a danger to you to develop further a development of Vipassana wisdom. So one time Sayadaw says one of the men, Adayaka, as he has been meditating, whenever he has been noting on, he sees all this Buddha image, all these bright lights and all these sangha. So as he has been feeling so pleasant in his visions and in his experiences, but he didn't realize that he is developing this Vipassana. But instead he thinks these are all genuine. So at one day, while his wife wants to go and pay respect to the pagodas, so she called him up to go along with her. But he said, You people, you just go along, you have no Buddha, you have no God. In me, I have so many Buddhas inside me, so many Buddha statues in me. So the wife was not satisfied, but she didn't say anything, but she just noted in her mind. So when one time this man, he wasn't feeling very well. So as he got all the aches and pains all over him, he just wanted to have the massage. So he asked his wife to massage on him. So she got the point. Now, so she said, you have got all these Buddha, Rupa, and all these so many Buddhas in you. I dare not touch you. I dare not massage you. So she replied like that. So after all, these are all upakilita. So Sarah wants to remind to the yogis again that although they are the pleasant feelings, these are the dangers for your development of Vipassana wisdom. The first tool of Vipassana wisdom is Vipassana wisdom. That is the forming and passing only of all the natural phenomena. So in this case, as the yogi has strengthened his samadhi and with good concentration, and is also level of development of vipassana intellect is becoming higher, so that in this case you will only see the beginning and the end part of these natural phenomena. So as Sarah has reached in number one stage of Vipassana wisdom, that is Nama-Rupa Brahmajnana, Sarah says the yogi will have experience that enlightening of that Vipassana wisdom, he or she will experience it. And in the second stage, the yogi will have his experience at the beginning and in the middle part of the phenomenon. And in the third stage of Pamatana, you will be able to see from the beginning, the middle part, and then the end part also, that is appearance. So in this fourth stage, as Sarah says, because she says that the yogi will see only the formation and passing away of that natural phenomenon. But although he says he is not able to see, it's not exactly, he is not able to see the middle part. Because wisdom at that level is so sharpened and so fast, just like the experienced students. When supposing who is learning in English, and he at that stage he is able to read the newspapers or the textbooks very thoroughly, then at that stage he doesn't need to read the word form as supposing M-A-N, then he doesn't need to pronounce in that way, A-N-I-M-A, animal. But as soon as he read, he knows man, animal, newspaper, and so on. So he can read on the sentences as soon as he reads, but he doesn't need to pronounce, and he doesn't need to form all these words. But because of his experience, he can read the sentences or all the paragraph thoroughly within a minute or seconds. So similarly in this stage, as for the yogis, as the mental development in Vipassana wisdom is has become higher, that they know the middle part, but they see more prominence and more marked at the beginning and the end. Although they see it in the middle part, it's so fast that as if they haven't seen it in the middle part. So in this case, in this Uddhapayana or fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom, only the yogi will have that experience. So we will, in this stage, we will see as these natural phenomena are happening, are forming and passing away so swift and so fast that he will just only see all these phenomena have successive formation and passing away. They just form and pass away, form and pass away. So he will only realize that all these, within a moment, all these things happen and pass away. The things that has just happened pass away, and the new things were all already formed. So he will just see the old one pass away and the new one form. All these, just the continuity of this successive formation, he will come to see at that stage of wisdom. So some will think that because as we have been in Buddhism, all these natural phenomena are form and pass away. Some will think that they know, but that sometimes they can mix up with the concept or knowledge, because they know through learning or sometimes by thinking that they know this forming and passing away. But in that actual fact, he or she must be able to see this kind of natural phenomena forming and passing away through his experience, through his wisdom. Only he will be able to see. Because sometimes they can mix up with the imagination or by thinking. So only when they have that fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom, in the practical mind, in the experience only, they'll be able to see this is knowing, this is pain, this is numbness, this is stiffness, this is uneasiness. So they will see as if they were seeing the pictures with their own eyes, that forming and passing away of that natural remind again to the yogis, as Sarah has said yesterday, that in this fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom, as it is very pleasant and he has special feelings and special experiences, that sometimes they have mistaken that this is the destiny. So, as Sarah has said, when these yogis attain this fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom, because they will have experiences which they haven't had before. This is the first time, and they will see as if, as Sarah has said yesterday, even though they were sitting in a very dark room, they might think that they were sitting under the searchlight or full moon, under the full moon, very bright light. So, because they have such experiences which were very, sometimes they will feel fantastic. So, they will have a feeling of egoistic, so that they think they are in very peaceful stage. They are sometimes, they feel so good that they can even mistaken with Nirvana. So Sarah had that experience once in Burma, in Rangoon. There was a European yogi. He came and meditated in Mahasi Kamathana Sariya. So under the guidance of, even under the guidance of Kamathana Sariya, as he has been practicing, when he reached to that number fourth Vipassana wisdom, as he has been feeling so good that he has mistaken this as a Nirvana, and he doesn't want to look anymore. So day after day, his Kamathana Sariya or the instructor has been guiding him that he is not reached to his destiny. Now he is only at the fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom. And you have whatever you may be experiencing, whether it is good or how pleasant it may be, you have to build it. But he doesn't want to build because he feels so attached to all these feelings and all these passions. So Sarah says that European just went home with only at the fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom. And there's also another experience is that uh, in, as when at that time Seattle was meditating in the Nazi center. So to his monastery came a nun. She was about 80 years old. So as he has been asking all the Jayaka at Seattle's monastery, while Seattle has been away for such a long time, so they replied to her that Seattle has been meditating in Mahasi Center. So as Seattle has been meditating there for 8 months continuously, so she, she, she was saying to the Dayaka from the monastery that why were your monk taking such a long time? Your Seattle has been taking such a long time to practice in the Mahasi Center. So because maybe she has mistaken that she has an experience and she wants to share her good experiences. She wants to uh, know Seattle, how good feelings he has, all these. So she just wanted to take Seattle to her center. So when Seattle came back after his meditation, after 8 months stay in Mahasi Center, so the so the Dayaka from Seattle monastery, they came there to say to Seattle, but that nun came up and told Seattle, she invites Seattle to follow her to her center. So when Seattle inquired about how she meditated and what was her way, so Sarah came to know that she had learned about at least 5 to 9 methods. And only at the last method, Sarah doesn't want to name the center. But anyway, she has attained this number 4 stage of Vipassana wisdom. But anyhow, she thought that she had attained to her destiny. She said that because she has been practicing this way and she wished to this wisdom, now that she is so peaceful that she has been in heaven. She has been and seen all the beauty. So Sarah says, oh, it's so good and how without with this life only how you have been to heaven. And so also, she said she has been to hell. So Sarah said, it's so good, without spending any money, without visa, she can go to the hell with this life. And she even says that she has met her brother, younger brother who died earlier, has said, sister, can you help me, and so on. So she said that she has been to hell. And also, she said she has been to animal kingdom because she has seen her previous life as she has, what in her previous life she has taken the form of cows, pigs, hens, and all the birds. Whatever she has had all this experience. So then Sarah realized that she is in the fourth state of Vipassana wisdom. So she is persuading Sarah to follow her to her yeta, to her center. So Sarah says, these kinds of experiences, all these visions, or as if you were feeling you have been to all the other planes, when just like you were experiencing in your dream. So after in your dream you think you have been experiencing all these genuinely or truly, but only when you wake up you know that this is a dream. So something like that at this stage, not only Sarah says, not only at this stage, even at Vipassana wisdom stage, first, second, and third stages also, you can have all these experiences. But the only thing is they have a very yogi note when you come to this stage. Because if you think this is the true or genuine one, and if you sometimes, as your feelings are so good, sometimes they mistake it as the nirvana. So Sarah doesn't want you to go on the wrong way. So whatever you are seeing or experiencing, please try and note. So Sarah has replied to this nun that she is in the stage of, after all, she is in the stage of Kenya, all these visions and experience. So Sarah guides her to note more and to progress in her Vipassana wisdom. So similarly, Sarah wants to remind to our yogis also, whenever you have these kind of experiences, please don't become attached. Just carry on noting to progress for your Vipassana wisdom. Sarah wants to proceed with number 5 Vipassana wisdom, and Sarah says, Sarah kerja di dengan yang dia itu dengan dia. He will proceed with another 3 higher Vipassana wisdom, and he will stop there, and he is going to continue with Asim Sangama Sutta, because he wants to end or complete his Sutta tomorrow morning if possible, and Sarah will give a farewell talk of Friday. So now as we continue our Vipassana wisdom, when a yogi attains number 5 or 5th Vipassana wisdom is, we call it Dekha. Dekha means all the disappearance or all the passing away. So in this stage, a yogi will have the experience of the end stage or the passing away and disappearances of all these phenomena. Similarly, like the 4th one, not that he or she hasn't seen the beginning or the middle part, but because of the very good concentration with good samadhi, as his concentration is strengthened and his intellect in this Vipassana wisdom level becomes sharpened, that so swift that he has been noting, he has more experience at the end of these natural phenomena. So whenever he is experiencing, he or she will see at the end part, passing away or the disappearance of all these natural phenomena. Whenever he sees on the noting object as well as from the noting mind, he or she will see the passing away or the end part of this phenomena. So similarly, Sarah wants to remind to us again that as he has been preaching yesterday, as like somebody is learning an English subject, the basic point is on these ABCD to set the alphabets. So from there you have to form up, and then you can be able to reach the sentence, and then later you'll be able to read all the books within an hour or within minutes. So similarly, whatever we are noting or we are experiencing, the basic point is just mind and matter, or just on these 5 aggregates. So whenever we are experiencing this first stage of Vipassana wisdom, Nama Rupa Prasena Jnana, we must be experiencing on this sense object and the noting mind and matter. So similarly, when we have that number 2nd stage, Visyapadeka Jnana, on account of this mind and matter, what's the cause? This is the cause and this is the effect. when we come to realize the truth fact, there the basic point is also of mind and matter. So similarly, in the third stage, when we will be able to see the beginning, the end, and the middle of Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, or the three stages, or the three truths of our nature, then we must be able to experience on this mind and matter. So similarly, in the fourth stage of Vipassana wisdom also, when we see formation passing away, then we must be experiencing on this mind and matter all five every day. So we mustn't be out of the truth that we must be, even when we develop this Jnana or fifth stage of Vipassana wisdom, it must be also on this basic line of mind and matter, so we will be experiencing the end part of the disappearance. Whenever he is noting, he will just see the disappearing or the end part of this phenomenon, so that whenever he sees, he is noting either on the rising and falling or pain or whatever it is, he won't be able to see the pinya, all these hair, abdomen, leg, or head, or face. He will just see as it is, as a natural phenomenon, the ending part of this disappearance or the passing away of that natural phenomenon. As the yogi wisdom or Vipassana wisdom becomes progress, in this case, he will develop on 6, 7, and 8. But Sierra says the 6, 7, and 8 have the similar experiences. Sierra will put in the same category. So, in this case, number 6 is Peya, and number 7 is Adina, Adinawa, number 7 is Adinawa, and number 8 is Debinya. So, number 6, Peya means you feel frightened, you are scared. So as a yogi has been experiencing all these impermanent and all these disappearances, all the destroying things, all these natures are passing away all the time, all forming and passing away, so he becomes frightened. So this is number 6. So as even in our life, Sierra says, whatever we are doing or whatever we are aiming for, we would like to be in success. We would like to be in a form. So only when it becomes practical and form, or whenever we are doing a thing, if we are in a successful and it is in a stable or sustained, only then we will like that phenomenon. If we see that it is going to be destroyed at one time or the other, or if we come to realize that this is going to be destroyed, then how can we be able to like that thing? So similarly, as for the yogi, when he or she has that experience of all these impermanence, if he sees all these things, how can he be able to enjoy the life? So he feels scared. So that is the number 6, yeah. And then he as soon as he passed that 6th stage, he will develop the 7th stage of Vipassana wisdom, that is Adinawa. So at that stage, he or she will be able to see the faults or the weaknesses in mind and matter. So in this case, Sarah says, supposing we are using a clock or a cassette. At first we think this material is good, cassette too, when we enjoy and listen all the music and all. At first when it's working well, we think it's good. But if the clock or that cassette become damaged, as we have to repair it now and again, or we have to send the cassette to the repair shop or to the mechanic now and then, then we will get fed up. We don't want to use it again. So similarly, the yogi, as he or she has been experienced this mind and matter, the thought of all the time it is just forming and passing away, how can he or she enjoy on this mind and matter phenomenon? He becomes scared, and then later he or she will see the fault or the weaknesses with all these, not exactly weaknesses, the true fact of nature. So then, as soon as he develops this Vipassana wisdom, the next in progress is he or she will become bold. He doesn't want to possess all these mind and matter. So, because we possess this mind and matter, even without meditation, just by thinking, Sarah says, you can see, we all say that we are busy all the time. Why we say that we are busy all the time? Because of this mind and matter, we have to work hard, day in and day out. And then we have to search. From the moment we woke up, we can see ourselves from the very beginning, because we possess this mind and matter, it's not good. Because we have to clean ourselves, we have to go, we have to wash our face, we have to go to the toilet, and we have to brush our teeth. And then we have to eat. And for this mind and matter to live long, we have to go for work to earn our money. And then we have to, now and again, we have to go to the toilet, and we have to eat again. And then we have to work hard. And then we have to look after ourselves to be in good shape. So, till the moment we go to sleep, how can it be good? After all, why are we doing all these? We have, because we want to prolong our life, we want, on account of this mind and matter, we have to be busy for these things. So as for the meditators, as they are really seeing the true fact, then they become bold and they want to be eliminated, they want to be free from this mind and matter. So they want to take somewhere which is free from and eternally to be free from this mind. So there is meaning of the seventh stage, as he sees the fault, and in this eighth stage, as he sees the fault, he becomes scared, and in the eighth stage, in Viveka, he becomes bold. He wants to be free from it. So, in this case, as Seattle has yesterday, he has reached that as these Vipassana wisdom, although we label it in 6, 7, and 8, but they have the very similar nature. So Seattle categorized in one group. So as when yogi has reached to these 3 stages, and as he has seen the fault and scared, and he wants to be free from all these mind and matter, when he reached to this number 9, Hussein to Pranyata, that is on number 9 stage of Vipassana wisdom. In that stage, as he has seen this fault and frightened and scared to be free from it, and he wants to be free from all these mind and matter, on all these natural happenings. So, in this case, as if Seattle has given an example as yesterday, as if when you see that your possession, your material example, and giving an example as a cassette, which has to be prepared now and again, then you feel that you become bored and you don't want to possess that thing again, so you want to just drop that off and you want to discard it. So similarly, when you see the fault and all these, when you become bored of all these mind and matter because of the possessions, you want to be free from it, and you want to be free, how to be free, and you have to think it over again. So So similarly, if a parents own a son or daughter who are very mischievous and who can be controlled, and they have at one time, when they know that these are going to give them just the disadvantages to them, they have to disown them. So Sierra, in this case, Sierra gives an example like a fisherman. This was given as an example in a village. There's a fisherman who used to catch fish in a basket. I think in Kampong here they use the same thing. There's a basket which at the below, on top of it, there are two wooden blocks on it. So they have sink it underneath the level of water, that basket. So at the top of the basket there's a valve, so that when a fish got into it, he can go up from the basket. So similarly, in this case, Yara gave an example like a fisherman. So when he turns to pick up the basket, at first he thinks inside the basket is a fish, so he feels happy. So he put his hand into the basket and he got hold of the head of the fish, and then he took it out. When he took it out, only then with his own eyes he sees that that is not a fish, but that instead of that he has caught in his hand is a very poisonous snake. So in this case, Sarah says that fisherman, when he put his hand into the basket while he was taking off that snake, at that time he didn't know that it was a snake. Then he was very happy because he feels that I'm going to have good earning by catching this big fish. He was happy at that time. Only when he took out from the head and when he sees with his own eyes that this is a very poisonous snake, then he got very frightened and very scared. So at that time too, not only he was scared, so in that case, as he was holding this snake at the head on two sides, gripping it very tight, as the snake at that time couldn't bite the hand of the fisherman, so that snake has 3 rounds on the forearm of that fisherman. So he has been, as he couldn't bite, he has been pressing the forearm of the fisherman with his body, with the snake's body. So at that time, not only scared, he must be very careful how to discard the snake. Because if he don't know how to let it go away of this snake, then the snake has the chance to bite on his hand. So at that time, he must be very careful. So to be free from the snake, he has to free the spines of the trunk of the snake by taking it, by freeing it of these spines from handling from the tail part of the snake. He just recoil it very carefully, and then only when he comes in one part of the hand there's a head, and at the one part of the hand there's a tail. Only then he just throw it away very carefully. Only then he got relief and he was very satisfied. So similarly, as for the yogis, as their mind, Vipassana mind becomes strengthened, when we come to realize at first, because we don't know, like the fishermen, we don't know the cause of all these mind and matter. Now, like the other people, a layman, or for the beginners in the yogis, we still feel very attached to our body. We feel attached to our skin, we feel attached to our eyes, to all the parts in our body. But only when the yogis have attained all the Vipassana wisdom, when he comes to realize these faults, then he becomes scared and bored and he wants to be free from it. So just like the fisherman, he has to be very careful uh, in this kind, in throwing away the snake. When he developed this Vipassana wisdom at the stage of 6, 7, and 8, just like the fisherman has thrown away the snake very carefully. So at that stage, in number 9, Musing Dakanyata, that is number 9 stage of Musing to Kanyata. Musing to Kanyata, that is the number 9 Vipassana wisdom. In this case, he has to be very careful to throw away the snake. So he has to be note very carefully, and then with Petit Dekanya, that is number 10, and also we soon develop number 11, Dekaru Dekanya. So in this case, as like in number 9, as like the man, the fisherman who has thrown away the snake very carefully, he knows how to eliminate this mind and matter position. So only as he goes on meditating, when he reach after number 9 and number 10, and then in number 11 is the Karu Dekanya, he feels after he has thrown away. In this Petit Dekanya, he is like the stage of the fisherman throwing away the snake. So in number 11 is similar to the stage as the fisherman. He got relieved and satisfied because he is free from danger, he is free from that poisonous snake. So only in the number 11 stage of Vipassana wisdom, he got relief and he knew he has eliminated or free from this mind and matter. So in this number 11 stage of Vipassana wisdom, Sierra says the yogi will feel very happy and he will be free from all these discomfort, all these vedana, all this feeling, unpleasant feeling, and he will be able to float very comfortably and very peaceful. So at that time too, he feels satisfied with herself or himself. So just like person with the road is very good and the car too is very first class car and the driver too is a very expert driver. So just like you were traveling on that car with a very good car driving by an expert driver on a very good road. So similarly, the yogi will be able to float very lightly and very peacefully at that stage. So at that stage, there will be no strenuous, unpleasant feeling. In this stage is the best stage we could note on meditation. Sarah said we forgot to mention that 3 quarters on the forearm of the fisherman is he has seen the Anesadukanyata. So he wants to be free from this 3 quarters of the snake trunk. He has to be free himself from all this mind and matter, Lisa, Vikata. That's your Vipassana wisdom or Pratipekayana. At that stage, he is thinking himself of how to discard this Anicca Dukkha Anatta and mind and matter. So just like he has discarded the 3 quarters of the trunk of the snake, and then he just catch it and throw it away. Number 11 is as if he has discarded the snake. Vipassana wisdom. When a yogi attained the nama, the first stage of Vipassana wisdom or nama rupa prasina, he or she must be able to see that the sense object what we are noting and the noting mind are here just form and pass away, this coupling. And we must be able to see the sense object is separately from the noting mind. So, and when the yogi is still thinking or still seeing as when he or she is noting, the noting mind and the sense object are the same, are in the same manner, then he or she is still not attaining that nama. When he attains that first Vipassana wisdom, he must be able to see the noting mind is different from the sense object. And number two, in this case also, the yogi will be able to see the natural phenomenon middle parts. And in this number two, Isyapadenkajana, or Vipassana wisdom, he is able to see this beginning and the middle part of these conditioned things. And also, you'll be able to see this mind and matter separately. And so, in number three, Tamatana Jnana, you'll be able to see mind and matter separately, as well as you'll be able to see all these natural phenomena from the beginning and the middle part, as well as the end part, all the disappearance. Or when the yogis reach to number four, Udiyapayana, in this case, you will be able to see the beginning and the end part of all these natural conditioned things. In this case, it is not that they are not seeing the middle part. Of course, they are seeing the middle part, but it is more remarkable at the beginning and the end part, because the mind wisdom is become more sharper and faster in the engine mind. And also, when they reach to Vedana or number five, Vipassana wisdom, you will be able to see only the end part, all the disappearing. In this case also, Sayadaw says, it is not that they are not seeing the beginning and the middle, but it is so swift and so fast that it's not so remarkable as in the previous jnana. But he is more marked seeing on this, the end part or the disappearance of all these mind and matter. So when the yogi reach to number six, Vaya, he will be able to see, as he is seeing all these disappearance or all the destroying or all the ending of this natural conditioned things, he feels frightened, he feels scared in this number six stage of Jnana, number six stage of Vipassana wisdom. And when he reached to number seven stage of Vipassana wisdom, that is Adinawa, as he sees all the time it has been passing away all the time, and also he sees and he feels scared and frightened of all these impermanent things, natural conditioned things.